I think adoption has something that has been that's always been in each of our hearts, even before we were married. And I would venture to say that it's something that kind of drew us to each other. Is just the heart for children, and more specifically, a heart for adoption and orphan care.
You know, we went through a lot of infertility issues. We were trying to have a baby, and
It would have been really easy for us to just hold off and say we're gonna wait for a child biologically.
we found ourselves at holding both of these things together. The loss of being able to conceive, but a heart for adoption and foster care.
There's this idea and truth behind waiting in action kind of thing. We have a home, even though there's no children in it. That there's no reason God still can't use it for children. That's where we, I think, really dived into orphan care ministry. So the Wednesday right before Good Friday, I'm at work, back when we were all in the office. So I was at work, I'm in a meeting, and Christine calls me. I text her, I say, I'm in a meeting right now. Is everything okay? And she texts back, she goes, I remember it, she goes, when are you out? Call me, all caps. So this is urgent. So I step out of the meeting, I call Christine, I say, hey, what's going on? She goes, I just got a call from our agency and they want to know if we want to be placed on a list for a baby girl who was born like a week ago. And I go, oh man. We said, well, this is what we were praying for, right? This is everything we were kind of moving forward towards. And God is giving us an opportunity. And we're kind of nonchalantly, we're like, well, and we're only being put on a list to be considered. We might not even get picked, so let's see what happens. So we pray on the phone while I'm at work and she's at home, and that's it. So that was Wednesday. So I'm at work again, and I get a phone call from her. As soon as I pick up, she goes, oh my gosh. And I go, well, I think I know what happened. And Christine says, the social worker picked us. She looked at our profile and she picked us. And on Easter Sunday, that's when we first met her. Signed some papers just to make sure everything was squared away.
She was in our care as a foster baby for a total of a year and a half. So just this year in January, we were able to adopt her at the court, and so she became part of our family in January of this year.
When I think of surrender, as it relates to our story and our experience in foster care and adoption, is surrendering our hopes and our expectations of what we thought our family was going to look like. If this isn't perfect the way your plan is supposed to be perfect, then we have to surrender our hopes, our expectations, and trust that what you have is perfect.
I think it's the love that we all experience from our Father that gives us that love that the kids will need.
Not everyone can open their home up as a resource family, and so one reason or another. But I think everyone has an opportunity to get involved in helping to come alongside these orphans.
Cooking or writing an encouraging card or food delivered or clothes. Those really helped us when we were going through it. Just find where you can fit into the story. And
it's a complete oversimplification, but to a certain degree, I think it does come down to there is a need. There's a clear need. And the question just becomes, how can you help meet it? How can you help meet the need? Foster children don't necessarily have advocates. By the very nature of foster care, that's what it is. It's just not having anybody to advocate for them. So in the same way Christ advocates for us, I think that we are called as believers to come alongside this population and advocate for them and care for them. For our particular story, there was I don't think we ever arrived at a particular, where we could say we are at a crossroads. I think it was one of those things where we said, okay, let's go to an orientation and see what happens. And then it became, okay, well, what more can we do?
And there were just these little confirmations.
God continually opening doors, saying yes, and bringing us people and stories and opportunities to grow our heart and expand our vision of what God can do if we just say yes.